lot of questions have been coming in on private messages or YouTube comments, or people have been direct messaging me through other platforms. And I've taken a sample of some of those questions that have come in, and we're going to let Zhenya answer them today. There's 6 questions that have been repeated multiple times over the last week or so. So we're going to jump on those while we're traveling. We have many, many, many miles or kilometers that we're making today as we go east. So while doing that, let's take a look. So I've got the questions actually written here, and there's 6 of them. So we're going to ask those and let Zhenya roll on them. So question number 1 today as we travel east is, if Russia has the most powerful army in the world, then why can they only get 20% of Ukraine? That's question number 1.
Why they get only 20% of Ukraine when they did promise to get Kiev and get victory in 3 days? Okay. Probably because there is a mistake in this sentence. For the explanation they have, I would say next. Their explanation, because they didn't really want it to get, they decided to save some civilian lives, some more civilian lives. This is why they didn't demolish Ukraine in 3 days. The right answer is they couldn't, because they are not on that level as they state. That's it. They can't get Ukraine. They couldn't, they can't, and they would not.
Question number 2 for you then. Let's take it to the next one. And they're not. We agree. First of all, I would even add that Ukraine is fighting for their homeland, and we have home field advantage. We're talking roads, infrastructure, systems. The visitor has shown up in our ballpark because they were the aggressor. And it's not that Ukraine has invaded Russia. It's Russia has invaded Ukraine. So it makes it difficult for them as well. With that said, 2 possible scenarios for the war will be Ukraine will win, which we believe and we stand for, and that's going to happen, or something crazy happens and Russia wins. So the second question that we received many times is, in your opinion, if Ukraine wins, what happens to Russia? If Russia wins, what happens to
no
Ukraine
delays on
and
the
rest
route
of the world?
If Ukraine wins, that with the time, the truth will appear in Russia. People will start to see the reality. Will get to know the truth and reality, and not fakes. And with the long perspective, they will get a better life. After taking responsibility.
Russians will.
Russians will.
Okay.
Yes, surely there will be consequences and
easy ride
for the things they did on Ukrainian territory by killing our people, destroying our hospitals, houses, schools, our economics, everything. And yes, and Europe and the world will see and will get the hope that in this time of the world, people really believe in justice, believe in the truth, and continue to live. If Russia wins, that's okay. It will not happen.
No, it's not going to happen. But if
after 1 kilometer, go straight ahead.
It will be a new beginning of new age of evil will rule
easy left
the big part of the world, because the war will continue.
After 400 meters, go straight ahead, onto H11.
We'll be experiencing the things we experience now, our people experiencing now. And
Go straight ahead.
it's craziness for the whole world, because the Russia they will not stop.
Please follow the route for 71
In
kilometers.
addition to that, is it concerning that we're seeing the development of the relationship between Russia, Iran, and China?
Yes, and I already told it, I mean, a few times, sharing my thoughts. I'm a minister long years,
Yeah.
and not like military analytic, but I think if there will be a unifying of the armies, and new technology will come to Russia for the weapon and everything. And then what can stop them?
Correct.
The question.
Well, let's move to the third question that multiple people have asked, and that is Ukraine going to push into Russia or only try to defend their own sovereign territory?
Okay. We didn't start the war. Our troops didn't invade Russia. Didn't try. And the facts prove, we did prove it. Or our motives when we're giving out our nuclear weapon, all our nuclear weapon, and got a non-nuclear country statement. So status. It means we didn't plan, we didn't do, we need our land, that's it. We don't dream about, we don't have it in our dreams like, hey, we are conquerors, in the way like, I mean, we are the guys who are not enough. No, the things we were dreaming about, and we still, it's to make Ukraine a good country for Ukrainians.
And
the
for
best
the world.
countries, and for the world.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
That I'll tag onto that. This wasn't answered, but we're here. So we're pushing into we're in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast right now. We're pushing toward the Donetsk Oblast. And we know that right now, this day, we're on the 25th, we're in the middle of the referendums that are happening between the 23rd and the 27th. Kherson, maybe Zaporozhye, Donetsk, Lugansk. So then, of course, Russia is going to say it's their territory, and Ukraine is striking sovereign Russian territory. We know that's the plan. But regardless of that, it's not Russian territory. So once these referendums that are shams that are happening, they've got guaranteeing nations there today that are nations like Syria and Brazil and Venezuela. Those are the overseers. There's a list of about 10 nations. Those are 3 of the big boys that are watching this election to make sure it's legal, which is all a sham, but they're going to say it's Russian territory. But we need the world to know Ukraine is not striking Russian territory somewhere. They're defending their territory, which are these regions.
Yes, I mean, when it comes to election, it's usually somehow refers to democracy.
Democracy.
Okay, let's try to talk about democracy when you are being occupied
With sham referendums.
Which is like, it's not possible. There is no foundation for this referendum. I mean, zero. Not in Ukrainian laws, not even in Russian laws.
Not even in international law.
Nowhere.
And what aggravates me supremely is that even the United States allowed Lavrov in to New York City to give these disastrous speeches at the United Nations about all of these things unfolding and giving the Russian side to it. It's a tragedy that he's even allowed into the United States of America. Well,
okay, let's pause on this.
Okay.
Just think about that. Let's jump to 1943,
Okay.
and the thing that would American media allow Hitler, or okay, not the Hitler, one of his,
It's fine. One of his Goebbels
yes, to speak
at the United
to
Nations.
United Nations, that, and I mean, while the world are fighting, and say, oh, let's listen to them. Now,
Let's listen to what he says.
Let's honor them.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's your answer.
like, let's, okay, issuing a visa.
Correct.
And and then providing security.
Absolutely.
For the who? For who?
Exactly. For a
rebels?
terrorist.
For terrorists?
Correct.
Use, okay, please use
And that's the
our
United
airports.
States doing that. Yeah, exactly. Come on into
Yes.
New York.
Let's U.S. Security guys protecting this.
Telling the truth.
Yes, like let's protect them.
Correct.
Give them an honor. Let's show and prove that we are good.
Yeah. Go to question number 4. This one's been asked a lot. We've watched you guys over the last few weeks go close to the front lines to help our soldiers and to help citizens. What does it really look like? Yes, we've seen the video and we know what it looks like, but specifically, how do people live there? And secondly, how do the front lines in this war move? Because it seems like a different war than movies we've watched from, say, World War II.
Okay, about the people living there. Okay, yesterday we've been in a place where about up to 90% of the houses in that place were destroyed. The question is, and we've seen a couple, civilians trying to survive there,
Trying to rebuild their house.
trying to seal the house with a
Rubber, plastic. Yeah.
something. At first, if people stay there, probably they have some hope for something. The second, it's a risk to be killed at any moment. The third, the question people are asking why people are not leaving, and this is why sometimes people cannot believe this is a real dangerous place to be, because people don't understand and don't see what is reality of Ukraine, and people, they have no hope sometimes. They have no possibility to live. For example, they experiencing a fear for starving later or something like that. Why? There is a lot of reasons why, but the fact is they cannot see them being out of their place. That's it.
Correct.
This is why they're
not leaving their
there,
home.
and this is why the people, we did, and other people taking food there, right there, and again being, risking the life, being killed by Russian.
It's hard enough for us to get all the necessary permissions and the right connections to get into these places to deliver aid, whether it's to people or the military. I've got news for you. The delivery truck with meat is not coming. It's not going to happen. Fresh water, it's not coming to these outlying areas. So that's the reason. Now, what about the front lines movie?
Yes, and about frontline, and when we think about frontline, what do we see? We'll see the picture of the movies about the historical movies, or just action movies about the war. And this is like you see the trenches or snipers sitting in the bushes, and that's or the tanks coming. But okay, it's another time. A lot of, like, at this moment right now, I think that thousands of drones are hanging from the.
They're in the air.
Yes, in the air, and they what for? It's ice for artillery, ice for cruise missiles, it's an eyes for mine throwers and so on. So if they're trenches, yes, but it looks like there is a people sitting in trench and then the other guys are running and they're killing them
Like the movies.
like the movies. I mean, only if certain places, because somebody gives, I mean, the command, okay, go and die, which Ukrainian never do. Ukrainian commanders will never do it. And yes, then maybe I mean, I think with the time we will see the truth and the reality, the stories. But now the front line is much wider.
Correct. That's it.
And sometimes, okay, the distance between artillery, let's say, units from the two sides could be, for example, 20 miles more. It's just between artillery, and there is battles between artillery. You know, it's like, and during that time, every time when somebody is using like MLRS or like or artillery, drones of other side, they are trying to find their position, and they giving, I mean, information, and then guys are targeting it. During that time, they decide are changing position, and it's all the time like that.
Well, we've been in some of the areas. I mean, we've seen every weapon pretty much there is. Of course, we were at one position days ago where we were with the HIMARS unit, and one thing we noticed is that these pieces of equipment are constantly moving. They fire and they move. They fire and they move. All of them. And Zhenya's right. It's really an artillery war. Where we were at down there, very close to Kherson, you know, we were warned there will be no air raid. We can go in. We had permission. We delivered the food to the church there. We went and took a little video there, and that was deoccupied. Russia had occupied it. Ukraine took it back, and we were there, but they told us straight out, it can just start raining shells, and there will be no warning, so be prepared. You know, that's one of the reasons you notice, because I know somebody's going to ask me, Greg, why is your seatbelt not on? In case we need to jump out.
Now it's like, yeah, it's you need to understand at this moment we are between places, but we just left the place where our seatbelts cannot be, and we're going to the place where the seatbelts cannot be, and the police are everywhere, and police non-stop. I mean, not stopping us. I mean, they don't. Why? They understand.
They understand
what's going on.
So let me, two more questions. Man, this has been awesome. This may be one of the best streams yet. 5. So with all of the talk about drones, a lot of comments and questions sent in, this looks like a drone war. Tell us what you know about the Iranian drones. Are they there, and what are they doing?
According to the information I have, yes, it's not a toys. There are Iranian drones, and it's a lot of them from the Russia has, and it is not a toys. It's a real weapon, and they using it not just for getting information or attacking Ukrainian artillery or military. They send them to Odessa, killing civilians, and
we were meeting with
yeah, surely the military as well, but Iran supporting Russia
100%
by supplying them these drones, and it's not to produce that level drones. It's not a time or possible to take in a 3 months.
After 500 meters, turn left onto T0420. Sharp curve right.
There were agreements, and the war was planned, and
Hard curve
this
right.
moment was planned.
Well, a few weeks ago on a stream, no, we got to go back to the left.
Yeah, I understand, but maybe
I'll go up here.
not yes.
A few weeks ago, I think I'll just cut through right here. Actually, no, I'll go up here where it's paved. I was actually on the stream showing all of the Iranian
Turn left.
transport cargo planes coming in to Belarus, coming into Russia, and people's going, well, what's on those planes? Well, we now know what are on those planes. They're loaded with drones. And remember, this goes back to Russia agreeing to put that satellite.
After 500
in the
meters,
space
turn slightly
for
right
Iran
onto H11.
About a month ago, we knew this was coming. Now, we were talking with Commander back west in Ukraine, and he told us, he says, man, the Iranian drones are a problem.
Medium
Why?
curve right.
They
Easy
launched
right.
the drones
Traffic delay on your route
from
has changed to
portable
2 minutes.
trucks that look
Medium
like a
curve
cargo
right.
truck.
Easy right.
And basically,
Medium
they can
curve
drop the
right.
canvas, and the drones launch out. I think I have a picture.
Please
or video
follow
of
the
me
route
popping
for
in
46
here. They just
kilometers.
launch out, and what they're using them for, I see it. What they're using them for is actually kamikaze drones. So if you remember World War II, many Japanese pilots would be kamikazes. And we've got a block post, so we had to stop.
Yeah.
But they would be kamikazes and just run their planes and use them as bombs. This is what's happening in and throughout Ukraine right now with these Iranian kamikaze drones, and they are bad. They don't get high off the ground. Air defense can't get them, and they are a problem. We'll be back in a second. Okay, we're past the block post, and all is good. So, yeah, about those drones.
I just thought about the situation with issuing visa to Lavrov. Sorry for getting it back.
No, go ahead.
Hold
on. Issuing visa to what? Are we done with the
for
drones?
Lavrov.
Okay.
Now we will get to drones.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to Lavrov.
Okay, the person who represents the country who ordering drones for killing people and yes, civilian people, and then at the same time the other country issuing the visa.
Hey, listen, I'm here. I have an American passport. The United States issuing him a visa. You don't have to talk in code.
Yes.
Yes, it's a problem.
For speech, listening him.
But it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
All right, last question. This one we've received a lot of.
And about the drones, sorry.
Okay, drones, before the last
Drones,
question.
it's not a toys. And it's not a toys as well.
Oh, boy. We just passed some technic there.
Okay. It's not a toys as well. Okay,
No.
so world can see it, can prove it, and even track it. Then the question, why world are silent? No, world not silent. It's a lot of chats and texting and messaging, but there is no complete block, economic blocks, sanction which gets it on a zero in relationship between countries, puts it on a zero level. No, it just lowering a little bit. Okay, we will make it a little bit more expensive for you.
Correct.
For continuing trading with us and so on. This is how it looks like. Why there is no principal position, and if it's continue like that, that no one can say later, state that, hey, world, we need your help. Why? They did throw a nuclear weapon, for example, on us, because everybody says, oh, okay, we already used it, because when it was with Ukraine, yeah, the sanction was like this. What if we would change later? Ukraine became strong, for example, we'll get a new technology, the best technology for in the military field, and some other country needed help. For example, hey, stop.
You didn't help us.
Yeah, this is like this. The world can stop it, but no.
They're not stopping it.
Business continuing.
Correct.
The airplanes are flying
Yeah.
from that country over other country.
Correct.
And when Ukraine needed weapon, for example, Germany closed the sky for transporting for the some period, transporting from UK or where from the weapon for helping Ukraine to fight for own territory. And then, okay, come to Iran, come to other, okay, Chinese, like and so on. Airlines.
Well, that even pushes me to the question. And this is not the sixth question, but it pushes me to the point now with the mobilization that is declared in Russia, and they're drafting and they're pushing up. Everybody over here is saying it's going to be a million man recruitment, but they're having problems with that. People are fleeing the country, and some people are protesting, and some people are being arrested. But it's not to the level you're seeing in the Western media. In fact, some of these places, there's more journalists there than there are protesters, and in other places there are protesters. But we're telling you the truth. So I have a question for you. You know, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, borders completely closed. But Finland, our new NATO joiner, the line there for Russians to get into Finland is miles long. And they're coming into Finland to escape the draft. Kazakhstan, they were fleeing into Kazakhstan, but Kazakhstan said, sorry, you can't come here and escape the draft. You know, we're not going to be a safe nation for you.
Lines, okay. Lines in other country. How many country? In the Georgia?
Yeah.
I mean,
Borders to other countries.
yes, and other. I don't want to count all of them, but it's
a lot.
Up to Mongolia.
Correct.
All the countries are okay. We understand.
Yeah. That's the point being is this is the greatest opportunity for the nations of the world to shut all those borders and say, no. If you don't want to fight in a war against Ukraine,
This
you're going to
shows
stay
a
there.
real position of this country to this.
You're going to stay there and bring change from within, not run away. And that would be a great thing to happen. But that leads us to the last question. And this one we get all the time, especially with people worried, you know, my family and friends, not only for me, but also for all of us that now they've all come to know, is we keep hearing it, but do you think a tactical nuke's really possible now that we're a couple of weeks even deeper into this?
I think it's possible. I think. Because there is now like a real, limits. And I couldn't believe that this war will start. That Russia will attack open way to Ukraine. Then the next first days, I was trying to talk to Russians. On the social media somewhere. Then I realized it's, no sense for that. Maybe, but then I started thinking about, okay, but not possible to have war because they killing our people. Attacking their tanks, their missiles, killing our kids, and they're doing massacring here. I was expecting that no, not possible. We have so many friends, and the world knows that this is the big country. They have a big army. They have a nuclear weapon. Surely somebody will protect us. No, we got there, and now with the time, with the begging, asking to the whole world, we still didn't get even 1% of NATO weapon.
No.
So, and yes, this is reality. And now the question, yes, I think maybe it's possible. And if it be that the NATO countries, probably their intelligence will know it, way before. And it could be the way it happened in February.
Yeah.
This is sad thing. And But coming to nuclear, I think even more danger if it's the way Russian army do, like they're playing with they're capturing, and they did our nuclear plants. I
Yes.
mean, the one-off
In Energodar.
in Argadar, and they threatening openly that we can attack and destroy other nuclear plants
Correct.
in other places. They even naming it. Maybe it's the best time to issue much more visas for them, for Russia. It's not a toy.
No, that's not a toy. Look up. You could have saw it real quick out the window. We can't film it, but you'd have seen it.
Okay. And maybe it's time to think about not just to Lavrov.
Correct.
It's a good time to give a visa to other propagandists.
Yes.
I mean, for there is a reason.
Even when this war started, even up to me being in country for the last month, I said no way a nuke would ever be used. No way. But now being here, and especially with what we see unfolding, and we've told and shouted from the rooftops from day one that Putin is not going to quit. He's not going to pull out. Is he going to take some losses and gains? Of course, that's warfare. But he's not going to quit. And he's older. He may have health issues, but he's a narcissist. And a narcissist will do anything to retain power. And even he himself within the last week has said, right before the referendums, once they're our territory, anything is on the table for us to defend our territory. And that is why in Putin's crazy mind, that once these referendums are over, which are all going to be a joke, and now Kherson is Russia, and now Donetsk is Russia, which it's not, it can change the environment for the use of stronger weapons. We shall see. But it's definitely on the table more than we thought a month ago. Thank you. I'm just having fun.
And yes, coming back to that moment. When we think about it's the one more example of fearful world. Okay. I would say this should be way ago that the whole world would say, hey, stop calling it special operation.
Correct.
And what kind of special operation it should be with the drafting this, which takes 6 months.
Adding 1 million soldiers potentially.
Using all kinds of cruise missiles.
Yes. Being supplied arms by other countries.
Everything, aviation with the bombing. Demolishing cities and drafting hundreds of thousands of people.
Sounds like a war to me.
Yes, it looks like a war, but why still some medias in some countries are still allowing people to use special operation?
Exactly.
Then the next level of special operation can destroy some country when they're using nuclear weapon, and we can find a new terms for that. Oh, it will not be using like a nuclear weapon. It will be using the technology of 20th centuries or 20th centuries, or we use kind of what? I don't know. I think the world would call it somehow.
Correct.
Not like a nuclear weapon attack. could be, I don't know, launching something.
It'll be named different. It's the same thing that's happening around the world. It's just a war going on here, but our whole
We don't
world-
call it war.
We don't call it war.
We call it war. Ukrainians
Yeah,
and
it's
some-
war. But the world, it's not just here, it's around the world. There's just a transition happening in our world. Time is accelerating, and you know, we're coming to just a different era in world history, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know. There's the 6 main questions, everybody, that we've been asked multiple times, and we're having to drive so far today. We just thought this was a great way to communicate it to you. And as we go further east, we'll keep you updated and posted. Thank you for everything.
And we believe that the result of our trips, all our trips,
They're fruitful.
Every yesterday we heard so many thanks for all the supporters.
Yes.
They said, if not you, we would perish.
Think about that for a moment. You hear what he said? That's the kind of thanks we get on the ground. If it wasn't for you, we perish. How can you turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to that?
And one more time, this is I want to invite all people, all foreigners, come, European, United States, I don't know, Canada, I mean,
Anywhere.
Australia, you, all of you, I mean, Great Britain people,
You're
come.
welcome.
You're welcome. Have time here with us. Let's help people. Let's
Alright.
tell the truth. Maybe you will get some more information about biolaboratories. Inside information.
The last time I used that word, I got taken off the air.
Okay.
The BLs.
Okay.
We've rode around this nation for a month, 5 weeks now, and there are none of those here. I see.
200
Oh, man.
minutes.
Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told you about the 200? Virginia told us we just passed one. That's reality. And for those of you that are new to the stream, when that was I'm just going to tell you straight, that was a refrigerated little cargo truck, and it had 200 written on the back. And when you see that on the roads, they're marked specifically, and it has a car in front of it. They transport the Ukrainian heroes that have given their lives to protect this country. So, thank you.